mwaka mmoja tunaadhimisha baada ya kupata huduma hizi za e-citizen mtandaoni. Kila kitu sasa hivi ni mtandaoni. Unapata huduma unazozihitaji, unalipia papo kwa papo na mambo yanasonga mbele. Na ni mwaka mmoja kuweza kuangalia changamoto zilizopo katika upataji wa huduma hiyo ndani ya e-citizen, ni yapi maboresho ikiwa anaadhimisha mwaka mmoja. Lakini katika siku hii ya leo pia vile vitambulisho vya kitaifa katika ule mpango mpya pia vitakuwa vinazinduliwa rasmi katika siku ya leo. Rais Daktari William Samoei Ruto nafikiri amefika pale na wadau wale wakiwa wanajaribu kumfahamisha na kumweleza zaidi ajue yale mambo ambayo yanaendelea na mipango ambayo wako nayo ya sasa na siku za usoni. Kwa hiyo ndio hali ilivyo katika siku hii ya leo. Siku muhimu sana kwa masuala yao yanaendelea katika jengo yale ya kimataifa la KICC, ambapo ndio kile ambacho nakiona katika runinga yako ya Citizen kwa hivi sasa. Ni siku ya e-citizen na inaonyeshwa kupitia runinga ya Citizen. Kwa hiyo ndio hayo ambayo yanaendelea kwa hivi sasa, mtazamaji. Kama kutakuwa kila kitu kwa shwari, tusikize rais anaelezwa kitu gani.
1 2 1 2 testing mic 1 2. Very good morning from the Kenyatta International Convention Center, where the launch of the first anniversary of the e-citizen government services is already underway. The chief guest for this particular event, the head of state, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, has already arrived, and right now he is going through the various platforms that make the e-citizen services under the State Department for Immigration. This particular event is being billed as one of the most successful service delivery for the government. Just to give you a recap about the e-citizen platform, it was launched in June 30th, 2023, and this particular innovation was meant to enable the Department for Immigration and Citizen Services to offer real-time services accessible on this particular platform. So since its launch in June 30th, 2023, the Ministry of Immigration did, the State Department for Immigration rather, did indicate that citizens now will from henceforth start receiving various services on this platform, including inquiries about birth certificates, national IDs, passports, NTSA services, business registration, and any other services inquired from the government through this particular online platform. It's boasting over 20,000 services available when you visit the specific stations, or rather services provided under the e-citizen platform. So like I said earlier on, the President William Ruto, who is the chief guest for this particular event, arrived some few minutes after 10 a.m. He was received by the Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi and a host of senior government officials, including the Cabinet Secretary for Education, Julius Ogemba Migos, and also the Principal Secretary, Interior and National Administration, Raymond Omolo, the very senior personnel there to receive the head of state, and not forgetting the very hosts of this particular event, the Principal Secretary, Immigration, that is Julius Bitok, being receiving the head of state before enabling him to go to a holding room where he was briefly he was momentarily briefed, of what to expect today. And of course, we have a number of exhibition booths that have been lined up for the head of state to just inspect and to see whether these particular services are real-time services accessible on the e-citizen platform. We're talking about various entities, including mobile service providers, the likes of Safaricom, Airtel, and others. We also have banks and financial services firms. You remember that digital technology and innovation has really been the very backdrop of the efficiency of the e-citizen platform. And also the president is expected to officially launch the third generation ID, popularly known as Maisha Card. And this will enable security. This will have various features, including security encryption. And so this is what is going down here at the Kenyatta International Conference Center. But also remember that this particular event comes a few months after the government announced that it has collected at least 127.2 billion shillings through the e-citizen digital platform, since President William Ruto ordered that all government services be paid through a single payment number. And this particular figure was confirmed by the National Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi, who said that the platform currently processes about 120,000 transactions, and this is on a day-to-day basis, and that it has managed to collect about 26.4 billion in the financial year ending June 30th, 2023. However, the figure has actually grew exponentially to around 100.8 B in the financial year ended June 30th, 2024, as more Kenyans sought services in this particular system, which currently stands at 16,000 services. So they're saying that the number of services you can inquire and access from the e-citizen portal ranges from 16,000 to 20,000 services. And so the CS Treasury is saying that the single payment bill has worked well, and the visibility of transaction has also improved. The government also stating that the platform has managed to stop leakages, which were a major setback during the initial stages of the launch of this particular platform. And of course, we know that other products and services such as the Social Health Insurance Fund, SHIF, payments will soon are also expected to be made on this particular platform that is expected to have another chapter with the marking of its first anniversary today. And also we know that there are other senators, the e-citizen program, and each and every government service has been a subject of parliamentary scrutiny. We know that a recent, Senate committee wanted to know what had caused the initial failure of the e-citizen digital platform to process and reflect payments made to some institutions, such as now the defunct National Health Insurance Fund, and what steps were being taken to remedy the situation. So we expect the PS Immigration, perhaps Julius Bitok, to address some of these concerns that were made by a section of legislators into the safety, efficiency, effectiveness, and the reliability of the digital payment platform, which is now called e-citizen, given the numerous complaints of delays and also technical issues that have followed the onboarding of this particular platform. And so we expect, of course, the president also to state what way forward in terms of also rolling out other government services that maybe up to now are not part and parcel of the e-citizen service. And so this is what we are expecting the head of state to perhaps clarify. But what we also know that the head of state will issue an award, to some of the most performing state departments that, are utilizing the e-citizen services. Talk about the likes of NTSA, which, emerged the winner during last year's, the last year's event. And so we expect some sources say that this time this particular award perhaps goes to the Kenya Wildlife Service. It's a matter, of course, of wait and see. But all in all, it is a celebration of a major milestone as far as government delivery is concerned. And they're saying that what they need to do is perhaps just to boost this particular platform, to enhance it further, to enable safety and reliability. Right now, you can see the head of state at one of the exhibition stands. There is the Kenya Revenue Authority, which is very critical in as far as revenue collection is concerned. It is one of the benchmarks the e-citizen platform boasts about, because remember that this is the State Department that is mandated to collect all revenue for the executive. So the president there being, taken through, how KRA has managed to exploit the e-citizen platform to generate revenue for the government. Standing there, we can see the PS Immigration, and of course, the Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, who actually received the head of state here at the Kenyatta International Convention Center. Apart from the KRA, like I mentioned, we have other stands. We have the telco stands, we have the financial institutions, the banking sector, we also have the transport sector there. And so all this will just be demonstrating how this particular platform has enabled them, to work efficiently. But I think also part and parcel of the deliberations today will be about access to internet, because when you mention digital or technology advancement, you have to include the internet efficiency and how it's going to enable this particular platform to succeed. But even as the president walks around this particular exhibition stands, we know that members of the public are inside the main venue, where speeches will be made by the head of state, of course, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, the PS for Interior, perhaps Raymond Omolo, and other special guests that have made the list as far as the program, the official program is concerned for this particular event. Remember that it is the first anniversary of the e-citizen service delivery by the government of Kenya, happening at the Kenyatta International Convention Center since the launch of this particular service, June 30th, 2023. And like I said, it is now boasting of having collected revenue over 127 billion shillings. That one is according to the CS for Treasury, John Mbadi. But there were also other reports that that particular figure could have shot up and to likes of 200 billion. But we can only go with the figure that was provided by the CS Treasury in October. That is John Mbadi stating that at least 127 B has been collected, out of which 100 billion shillings had been collected by June 30th, 2024. So meaning that between that particular space to now, perhaps more than 27 billion shillings has also been achieved from the e-citizen services. So just going to mention some of the key milestones as far as the State Department for Immigration and Citizen Services is concerned. They say that this particular platform has offered indeed real-time services in terms of accessing key public services. We're talking about inquiries about birth certificates, national IDs, talking about passports, NTSA services, business registration, plus other services, all included in over 16,000 services available on the e-citizen platform. And this is now being displayed on your screen. The live pictures coming to you from Citizen TV, just showing you some of the exhibitions booths that are displaying, how they have efficiently manipulated the e-citizen platform in order for them to, boost their service delivery, and in order for them also to generate revenue, which is actually the key mandate of this particular platform. We also know that the president will officially launch today the third generational ID. It's called Maisha Card, which has been enhanced with some inscription features such as security codes. This will be interesting to watch. We know that there is a section of members of the public that will be beneficiaries of the issuance of, the first ever rollout of the third generation ID, the Maisha Card. So all of them are also waiting, inside the main hall where the president later on will come and address, members of the public who've joined here, also partners, various partners in this particular for the e-citizen rollout. Like I said, these partners include leading mobile service providers, include financial institutions, include audit firms, digital technology innovators, and others. It's all happening at the Kenyatta International Convention Center that is hosting the first anniversary of the e-citizen digital platform. Perhaps right now we could listen in to what the president, I'm told right now the audio is not ready at the moment. But remember that the government also stated, and especially this came from the PS, that is immigration, that, the government is also planning to extend the centers, collection center, registration and collection centers for the rollout of e-citizen services. Talking about Huduma centers, we know that on this past weekend, PS Immigration B-Talk was actually in Baringo County, where, he launched the first ever Huduma, a mini Huduma center at that particular point, and residents were now being told you don't have to travel all the way from Kabarnet, which is about 200 kilometers from that particular point where this particular service was being launched. And they were told that right now the residents of Tiati and thereabouts can now access these particular real-time services through that particular station that was launched in Baringo, and residents there, gave the government thumbs up because, access to some of these very, 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 very critical services such as birth certificate registration, death certificate collection, talking about NTSA registration and collection of driving licenses, other services including, registering for national identification cards, collection and dispatch. All these, they had to travel kilometers and kilometers away in order to attain these services. But that particular service was now being brought home in Baringo by the PS immigration. And that is what the government says, that this is just now, but this is now the actual beginning of, a very intense a very intense expansion of the e-citizen platform. Talking about some of the services contained in this particular portal, we have the likes of the National Transport and Safety Authority, NTSA, which of course is in charge of anything to do with mobility, and especially on the roads, talking about driving licenses, accessibility, registration, renewal and replacement. You also have services here include the Directorate of Immigration Services. This has quite, a number of services contained there. You talk about the e-passport, temporary permits and e-visa applications, all included under the Directorate of Immigration Services. You also have Kenya Wildlife Service, part and parcel of the e-citizen platform, and here you can explore, experience, some of the services included. For example, visiting Kenya's most elite national parks and game reserves. We know that also the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, DCI, is part and parcel of the e-citizen platform, where you can obtain things to do with a certificate of good conduct, all being now issued under the e-citizen platform. Kenyans there being reminded they don't have to travel all the way to the DCI headquarters along Kiambu Road, as used to be the case before. But apart from that, you also have business registration services provided through the BRS digital platform. This is meant to enhance simplified and efficient business registration procedures. Remember that earlier on, it used to be a very manual process involving, of course, a lot of legal aspect into it, talking about having to sign in an affidavit and attach to it. So this is also being simplified through the e-citizen platform. I mentioned earlier on the Kenya Revenue Authority, where we saw the president visiting that particular exhibition booth just to inspect how KRA is enhancing this particular platform. So the live pictures there are inside the dome, where the president, after he inspects those particular exhibition booths, will make his way here to listen and also to make his own official speech as far as the marking of the first anniversary of the e-citizen platform is concerned. There you see the head of state right now at one of the exhibition stands, and this is now the Social Health Authority, SHA, which is again very, very, very crucial for the success of this particular platform. There has been issues to do with inquiries into the SHA and especially the SHIF, which is the Social Health Insurance Fund. How do you register? How much does it cost to do that? And, how long will it take for, you to be certified as, a registered member of the SHIF platform? Of course, we know that SHIF has been these discussions about SHIF and its efficiency from NHIF has been one of the issues that have made headlines previously because Kenyans wanted to know, and I've been seeking to know, how do they transit from NHIF to SHIF? But the body mandated to incorporate all that. It's SHA, that is the Social Health Authority. You can see the officials there just displaying to the president, the Prime Cabinet Secretary. I can also see the Nairobi Governor, Johnson Sakaja, there. They're just being taken through what SHA does through the e-citizen platform. And we expect perhaps that, these are some of the highlights that the head of state will pick up and address Kenyans on how this has been simplified. Previously, of course, you needed to submit documentation in regards to registration of dependents that included, children, siblings, and of course also spouses. You had to, submit, manual documentation at the NHIF head offices. But this now, according to the State Department for Immigration, they say that this is now simplified under eCitizen, and that all this available, you just have to upload, you just scan online, and you will be enabled. But whether to see that becomes a success, of course, depends with the efficiency of this particular government service, very critical for health delivery. And so from SHA, we will wait to see where next in as far as this particular exhibition booths are concerned. All of them, having boasted, using boasting of using the eCitizen platform. But just to go through some of the services under the eCitizen platform, we also have the Registrar of Marriages, which is under the Office of the Attorney General. These particular services now can be obtained through the eCitizen platform. We're talking about marriage registration and other legal services. We also have the civil registration services, where you can access CRS online platforms to conveniently apply and pay for birth and death registration certificates. I told you that as a branch of the civil registration services was just recently, actually just last weekend, launched in Baringo County. This now can enable you to apply, pay for birth and death registration services. Boma Yangu is also part and parcel of the eCitizen platform. Remember that this is what the government is using to roll out effectively the affordable housing program. And so inquiries about some of the 4,000 units that the president did mention being ready during the State of the Nation address last week. Some of those units, if you want to inquire about them, how they're being paid, how they can be accessed, and what are some of the qualifications needed, Boma Yangu is now part and parcel of the eCitizen platform. We also have the likes of the National Council for Persons with Disability, which is promoting, and protecting equalization of opportunities and realization of human rights for persons living with disabilities. So the NCPWD, the National Council for Persons with Disabilities, has also registered to be part and parcel of the eCitizen services. We'll also have the Kenya Bureau of Standards that is part and parcel of this particular platform. And the list goes on and on. Like I mentioned earlier, they're talking about over 16,000 services being provided in this particular platform, on this particular platform alone. So the list goes on and on and on. The head of state there being briefed at some of these particular exhibition booths that are just adjacent actually to the dome, to the main dome, where the president will later come and being received by a host of cabinet secretaries, including the CS for Mining Vuria, the CS for Education, who is Julius Ogemba, plus a host of other senior government officials who are lined up for the rollout of the eCitizen first anniversary. So this is what is going. This is what is taking shape here at the KICC, where the first anniversary is being marked. And we know that after this particular event, the head of state is also supposed to, say some of to give Kenyans, a status account of what has enabled this particular platform to work out 1 year, slightly over 1 year since its inception. What did the state do in terms of, enabling it, in terms of fast tracking, the digital movement, and especially what remains in terms of, delivery of services, more so to at the grassroots level, because, the e-Citizen platform being achieved through the Huduma centers can only, in the past, was only being achieved at major urban centers, talking about cities, major towns, and the rallying call has been always that these particular services be extended deep to the grassroots, where, ordinary people can access these services without having to travel for very long distances to achieve this. So the head of state here at one of the exhibition booths, you can see him being briefed there, and actually there are over 30 exhibition booths here at the KICC. And we know that the president has already inspected some of the services from KRA, from the Social Housing, Social Health Authority. We also saw him earlier on at visiting some of the leading mobile services, their exhibition booths over there. But at the same time, even as this is going on, remember that just a few meters from where we stand, we also have another key function. This is a departmental committee, that is the Finance and National Planning, presiding over the final day of the public hearing of the tax amendments laws, the tax procedures laws 2024, as well as the business amendment laws 2024, of which issues to do with tax proposals, and especially on the digital platforms, were discussed efficiently. What we know that the government aims to replace the digital tax with the significant presence tax, which of course continues to draw debate in terms of, having been levied for, non-residents living in Kenya obtaining digital platforms. And so we're talking about service providers in the e-transport system, the e-mobility, some of them who've, raised concern over, the introduction of that particular tax, the significant presence tax, or how it's going to impact their businesses. But the National Treasury, while issuing these proposals to the National Assembly, did state that all this is in a bid to both raise revenue for the executive to deliver on its mandate, but also to improve the services provided on the e-digital space, services to do with internet distribution and efficiency. And so even as this particular function is happening here on this other side of the KICC, we know that today marks the last day of submissions of memoranda to the National Assembly Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning, which is presiding over the hearings for the tax amendment laws. But all said, this is going on as expected here at the KICC. So right now we are seeing the head of state perhaps going now to enter the main dome where the main event is expected to take place any moment from now. Talking about speeches by various speakers, and there later on, of course, the recap will be the speech from none other than the president himself, Dr. Samuel Ruto. Right now, let's just listen in what's happening right there. And of course, it's going to all start with the national anthem,
followed by the East African anthem. You're encouraged to sing along the national anthem. While we remain standing, with your permission, Your Excellency, allow me to invite Sheikh Hassan and Reverend Stanley Mutangili to lead us in a short prayer.
In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, all gratitude and thanks to Allah Jalla Subhanahu. We ask Allah to bless our President, His Excellency William Samoei Ruto. We ask Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala to give him the energy and power to succeed in his endeavors. We ask Allah to rain on him his bounties and mercy blessings. Moreover, we ask Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala to bless our nation, nourish it with his blessings, fill it with love, peace and unity. We pray to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala to bless everyone who has joined us here today, who took part in the success of this event. And finally, we send blessings and salutations upon our beloved Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Amen.
In the quietness of this moment, Heavenly Father, we invite your presence, that your presence will tabernacle within this place. And as your word says, your servant Moses would pray, if your presence doesn't go with us, do not let us move. We consecrate this place, that it will be a holy ground where your Excellency will lead this nation in understanding and accepting the e-citizen that will help this nation to harmonize the services so that every Kenyan, wherever they are found on this face of Kenya, will receive the services and will help us, Father, even to reduce corruption and make this nation, Father, achieve the dream that you have given your servant, His Excellency, the President. We pray this morning, Father, that as we are gathered here, you remember this nation with the many needs that we have. You give us, Father, unity as guided and as directed by your servant, so that in the Horn of Africa will stand an icon that your presence and your blessings will flow to many other people. This we pray in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. God bless you.
Let us kindly take our seats. Your Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, Your Excellency Musalia Mudavadi, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Johnson Sakaja, Your Excellency Governor, Nairobi County, Cabinet Secretaries present, all Principal Secretaries present, esteemed development partners, other governors present, chairpersons and CEOs present, distinguished guests. Your Excellency, it is said that the digital revolution is one that is more significant than the invention of pen and paper. And today, we're here to celebrate the eCitizen one-year commemoration and official launch of the third generation identification card. With your permission, Your Excellency, at this point, allow me to invite the Principal Secretary, Ministry of Interior and National Administration, State Department of Immigration and Citizen Services, Ambassador Professor Julius Bitok, to make some welcoming remarks. Tumkaribishe kwa makofi tafadhali. Welcome, sir.
Your Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President and Commander-in-Chief of Kenya Defense Forces, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, Cabinet Secretaries, the Governor of Nairobi, Honorable Sakaja, Principal Secretaries, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Your Excellency, sir, allow me, before I make a few remarks, to invite a theme song team that's going to make a small presentation to highlight services bila stress. For real, services bila stress. Karibuni team.
nimepoteza ID sijui pa kutoa.
Unasema wewe niko na mpoa nadai kumuoa.
Tatoa wapi certificate ya ndoa?
Oya, e-Citizen imecome through, imewaletea something new. Fast digital services for me and you. Login kwa cyber laptop, ama phone yako tu.
Bila stress, bila stress, service bila stress. Nice Citizen, bila stress, bila stress, service bila stress. Nice Citizen.
Passport ID, unapata virahisi. Convenience, transparency, just log in and see.
Mazote kwa pamoja sasa twazifikia. Twaboresha Kenya yetu, mambo ni dijitali. Siku za mlolongo, tumezipa kisogo. Dawa mkononi, mambo sasa dijitali. Siku za mlolongo, tumezipa kisogo. Dawa mkononi, mambo sasa dijitali. Bila stress, bila stress, service bila stress. Nice Citizen, bila stress, bila stress, service bila stress. Nice Citizen. Haya twende, unacheza tu hivi 1, 2, 3 clap clap. It's a 1, it's a 2, it's a 3 clap clap. 1, 2, 3 clap clap. Let's go. 2, 3 clap clap. It's a 1, 2, 3 clap clap. Go 1, 2, 3 clap clap. 1, 2, 3 clap clap. Gava mkononi, gava mkononi, kazini, nyumbani. Gava mkononi, ati nini? Gava mkononi, gava mkononi, kazini, nyumbani. Gava mkononi. Bila stress, bila stress, service bila stress. Nice Citizen, bila stress. Thank you.
Thank you very much, team. Services bila stress. Your Excellency, sir, allow me to request the crowd to clap for this team who have done a wonderful job. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, sir, allow me to make a few remarks before I call the Prime Cabinet Secretary and Acting Minister for Interior and National Administration. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ambassador Julius Bitok, Principal Secretary for Immigration and Citizen Services. Your Excellency, I'm happy to report to Kenyans today that we have achieved a remarkable milestone in the delivery of citizen services in your government, guided by your visionary leadership of digital transformation in the first year of your leadership. Delivering citizen services to Kenyans through technology has been a challenging yet rewarding journey. Despite skepticism and resistance at the beginning, we stayed focused and resilient, conducting over 40 onboarding services that I chaired to get stakeholders buy-in in Nakuru, in Naivasha, in Machakos, in Mombasa, and many other towns where we spend these sessions. Through the whole government approach, we consistently and persistently pushed and managed to move onboarding of services from 394 last year, January, up to now 22,515. Your Excellency, today, Kenya stands as a benchmark in Africa for digital citizen services. This success proves that with the right leadership and the committed change agents, any vision can become a reality. Your Excellency, the standing ovation Kenya received at the recent e-government summit in Lusaka, Zambia, is a powerful testament to our leadership in digital transformation in the continent and beyond. To all Kenyans, register now, because e-citizen means service bila stress. Whatever government service you need, e-citizen is your Go platform. Your Excellency, sir, you have indeed delivered your promise to fellow Kenyans. Thank you very much for listening to me. Allow me now to introduce a few people who have played a very important role in this journey. One of them, allow me, Excellency, to recognize Mercy Wanjau, who has been our lead in this transformation. Let's clap for her. Thank you very much. Allow me also to recognize the efforts of PS John Tanui, PS for ICT. We have worked very closely together with Minister of ICT. Allow me also to recognize the team of Ambassador Ocheng, who is our Director General e-Citizen, and the committee. Let's stand up kindly for Excellency to see you, the people who have put together this event. Thank you very much. Let's put our hands together. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, sir, allow me now to invite the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Acting Cabinet Secretary for Ministry of Interior and National Administration to make these remarks. Welcome, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, the Honorable William Samoei Ruto, my colleagues, Cabinet Secretaries, Principal Secretaries, Heads of Missions and Embassies, Chairpersons and CEOs of various state institutions, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Your Excellency, I join in the delight today as we mark a pivotal milestone in the journey to redefine public service delivery in Kenya. Today we commemorate 1 year since the revolutionary e-citizen platform began transforming how we interact with government services. We also will be witnessing the official launch of the third generation ID, a significant step in advancing Kenya's digital and technological aspirations. Allow me to begin by acknowledging His Excellency the President, whose visionary leadership and commitment have been the driving force behind this digital transformation. I would also like to recognize the role played by the Deputy President, Professor Kithure Kindiki, whose leadership during his tenure in the Ministry of Interior and national coordination oversaw the implementation of the e-citizen 1 year commemoration and the official launch of the third generation ID. During his bid for the presidency, His Excellency President Ruto specifically committed to a radical overhaul of the public service to make it more accessible, affordable, and customer-centric for both local and international users of government services. This promise stemmed from the outcry of millions of Kenyans who, for far too long, endured painful, expensive, and often corrupt experiences in government offices. Many were subjected to long hours of waiting and, sadly, to demands for bribes to access services that should otherwise be their right, guaranteed either by citizenship or the payment of official fees. His directive to digitize government services was not only aimed at plugging these loopholes, but also unlocking the full potential of internally generated revenue, which could then fund key national development projects and programs. Data indicates from a paltry 354 government services, the government has onboarded the e-citizen platform with over 22,000 services, representing 85% of identified services, making Kenya a global leader in having such numbers of services online. This has seen the government collect billions of shillings every month and cut down on leakages of billions of money that would end up in people's hands corruptly. On the same note, doing away with the 1,130 pay bill accounts for each e-citizen and collapsing all of them into the 22222 pay bill has seen the government grow its revenue share. Allow me to also mention that away from the e-citizen and the third generation IDs, the introduction of the visa-free directive by His Excellency has seen a surge in the number of foreigners visiting Kenya, with the financial year 2023-2024 indicating well over 700,000 foreigners used the electronic travel authorization, ETA, a 20% increase from the previous year. Your Excellency, with your permission, let me just make a clarification. The ETA is not a visa. By explanation, a visa is defined by the Vienna Convention, where it is a document that everybody knows and it's issued as a visa. So I'm correcting this because we have seen some media communication from other quarters trying to give the impression that the ETA is a visa. It is not. Please look for the definition of a visa as defined under the Vienna Convention. Beyond revenue collection, Your Excellency, recognize that embracing emerging technologies would enable us to serve the Kenyan people better, while also opening doors to skills acquisition, knowledge transfer, and job creation. It is in this spirit that the President directed all ministries, departments, corporations, and agencies to digitize their services and integrate them onto the e-platform, setting an ambitious but necessary deadline at that time of December 2023. Today's event provides us with an excellent opportunity to assess the progress made so far. We are here to celebrate the milestones we have achieved, identify improvement areas, and forge new paths for enhancing the e-citizen experience. This is also a moment to reflect on how public service delivery can continue to evolve to meet the expectations of a rapidly digitizing world. I therefore take this opportunity to thank all the participants, exhibitors, and esteemed visitors for taking time to join us. Your presence here is a testament to the collective effort and shared commitment needed to propel Kenya forward in this digital era. As we officially witness the third generation ID launch, I am confident that this initiative will further integrate technology in Kenya's daily lives, enhance convenience, and solidify our nation's position as a trailblazer in innovation and digital transformation. Together, let us remain steadfast in our resolve to build a Kenya where government services are efficient, accessible, and driven by the needs of our people. Thank you, and may God bless you. It is now my singular honor to request everybody to be upstanding so that we can welcome His Excellency the President to make his official remarks. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, let's take our seats. Your Excellencies, Honorable Cabinet Secretaries, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. A year ago, we stood here at KICC to launch our bold vision to transform the delivery of government services in Kenya. It was time to take a decisive step towards making public service delivery inclusive, efficient, fulfilling the rights of our people, and accelerating national development. That vision came to fruition with the relaunch of the e-citizen platform, an ambitious initiative designed to bring the benefits of convenience, transparency, and inclusivity to all citizens, as well as to our international clients. Today, we return to the very place where this journey began to celebrate the first anniversary of this transformative platform. This event is therefore a fitting homecoming to commemorate innovation, resilience, delivery, and achievement. Over the past year, we have broken barriers of resistance and transcended historic and systemic obstacles to embrace a digital future for our people, demonstrating that the path to Kenya's prosperous destiny is indeed digital. This milestone reflects our commitment to create a more connected, efficient, and equitable system of public service delivery. When we relaunched eCitizen, we set out to dismantle inefficiencies, delays, bureaucracy, red tape, and frustrations that had plagued service delivery in Kenya for decades. We sought to end the unnecessary burden of navigating physical offices, standing in long queues, and enduring avoidable delays and inconveniences. We envisioned a Kenya where geographical disparities no longer dictate access to public service, where citizens in the most remote areas could enjoy the same conveniences as those in urban centers. We aspired to build a system that prioritizes integrity over corruption, efficiency over waste, and inclusivity over exclusion. Ladies and gentlemen, I proudly stand before you today to declare, and I am confident you can all attest, that eCitizen has delivered on this promise. Now, from the comfort of your home and with just a mobile phone, you can renew your driving license, register a business name or a business entity, or apply for a marriage certificate. Tasks that once took weeks of travel, paperwork, and endless follow-ups, often at great expense. These are now completed in minutes, sometimes in just a day. 1 year on, eCitizen now hosts, as of yesterday when I met my speech, it was 20,855. I'm told by this morning it is 22,515. Services of a thriving community of 13 million users. Revenue collection through the platform has grown significantly, enabling the government to mobilize critical resources for public projects. eCitizen is not just a digital service delivery platform. It represents a paradigm shift that has redefined public service delivery in Kenya and profoundly impacted lives. In many ways, both big and small public services, both big and small, our understanding and expectations of how public services are provided have fundamentally changed. Consider the story of a mother in a remote village who once walked tens of kilometers to apply for her child certificate, often making repeated trips due to delays. Or the citizen, or a senior citizen, who struggled to access replacement services for vital documents. Today, these services are relics of the past. These challenges are relics of the past, as the eCitizen platform systematically dismantled barriers to efficient service delivery. This transformation extends beyond individuals. The digital ICT ecosystem, including cyber cafes, mobile device shops, and auxiliary businesses, have flourished, creating jobs, fostering wealth, and driving economic growth. The ripple effect of e-citizen are no longer confined to digital transformation. Its impact on service delivery has improved lives, strengthened hope, and opened new opportunities across our nation. By digitizing services, we have significantly enhanced efficiency, saving time and money for both citizens and government. Less paperwork translates to lower costs, streamlined processes reduces administrative burdens, and less bureaucracy leads to faster service delivery. These savings are also being redirected towards critical areas such as health, education, infrastructure, and job creation. The transformation doesn't stop here. As a matter of fact, the success of e-citizen has propelled Kenya onto the global stage as a trailblazer in harnessing digital technology. We have become a model for how governments can promote efficiency and competitiveness in the digital age. Consequently, I have received many requests to facilitate benchmarking exercises and inquiries for lessons and insights from several countries across our continent. As a leader in leveraging homegrown innovation to solve serious challenges, we are proud to partner with our friends in their own transformation journeys in different parts of the world. But we will not allow ourselves to get carried away by our achievements and risk letting the future sweep past us while we celebrate. We must not and cannot stop here. Even as we mark this remarkable occasion, we are already looking ahead to map our way further into the future. We are making significant investments in better technology, expanding the national fiber optic infrastructure, and ensuring that reliable and affordable internet is accessible to all Kenyans. Accordingly, I have directed the ICT Ministry to accelerate these initiatives, and I had a candid conversation with the Minister and her team yesterday. You understand what we agreed? We are also implementing favorable tax policies and incentives to make smartphones and data affordable for every citizen so that we leave no one behind. Artificial intelligence is the next frontier, and we are already witnessing its transformative potential. AI offers opportunities to reimagine service delivery. For instance, an AI-powered chatbot on e-citizen could provide instant solutions to inquiries, reducing wait times and minimizing opportunities for fraud. With AI, we can move from reactive to proactive service delivery, anticipating the needs of citizens and designing solutions that meet their expectations. By responsibly leveraging public data, we can shift from citizen-centered approaches to citizen-driven solutions, ensuring that our services meet the unique needs of every Kenyan. As we celebrate the remarkable achievements of e-citizen, we must remain steadfast in our commitment to innovate and the whole ecosystem around innovation and adaptation in the digital economy space. I commend our ministries, departments, and agencies for embracing this policy shift and providing public services through digital platforms. Your compliance has seen and has been the backbone of our transformation. We will be awarding some winners, the people who have excelled in making or in taking advantage of this digitization of government services today. As we recognize them, I have a list. I will send a list this morning. Give me my phone. I will send a list this morning of people who are still mangamangering. Yeah? And I want to put them on notice. The people who still are playing games with us. The CEOs of the following entities are put on notice. Just hold on. Because when I went out to campaign, I remember making one statement that was fundamental. I said in my administration, there will be no money to steal. And part of that journey of making sure that there is no money to steal is through this digitization. Because through digitization, we connect service delivery to revenue collection. And you can see for yourselves that because of digitization, especially of government services and government revenue collection programs, we are seeing phenomenal increase in revenues. I gave an example the other day of KWS. You all remember what we did with KWS. When we digitized KWS and insisted that they now must all gate fees and services offered by KWS must be on e-citizen, we had a lot of pushback. The tour operators did not want it. KWS staff were reluctant. And I remember calling Kanga and telling him, my friend, it's a fait accompli. The decision has been made. Get everybody to comply. There is no escape. Look at what has happened. In fact, those who were against the digitization of government services at the KWS even orchestrated, in our gates, long queues. Oh, this system is not working. The tourists are not happy because now there is a long queue. Because tour operators were charging tourists $100 and paying government $50. And they didn't want a disruption of that system. Now what has happened? We insisted. The system is working. I listened to Aisha today from KWS. I listened to Susan, and they were giving us wonderful stories about success. In fact, they have reduced on the time. Is Susan here, the lady who spoke to me at the KWS desk? Is she here? And Aisha, I don't know whether they're here. Yes, Aisha, kuja hapa mbele. So, and Wanjiro, wapi Susan? There was also a lady, another Wanjiro lady there. So today they were telling me that they have reduced the time they serve their clients from 5 minutes per client to 2 minutes. Where they were taking 10 minutes, they can now do it in 5 minutes. Yeah? So look at that transformation and explain to me what was that resistance about. So, Aisha kuja hapa. Yes. Now, can you tell these people what you told me about what has happened to KWS?
After onboarding our services to the e-citizen platform, we have enhanced our services. Our clients are happy now. We used to serve clients, per client we used to take 10 minutes. Now it has been reduced to 5 minutes for customers who are being served at the gate. Clients with prepaid ticket, we have a prepaid ticket. You can pay at your comfort of your house or home. It only takes 2 minutes to process the client at the gate.
Susan, you told me something.
Yes, sir. Your Excellency, I mentioned that because our tickets have a QR code, the customer service team at the gates scan the QR code, and by doing so, they make sure that the card is valid. And at the point of exit, they also invalidate the card to make sure that it is not used again. It is not recycled in essence. That means that we have reduced and closed the gaps on revenue leaks in the service. And this has contributed to what Madam has said, that we have seen a growth in our income generation and revenue collection, Your Excellency.
From 5.3 billion the year before we introduced eCitizen to now 7. What, Mr. Kanga? 7.6 billion. It means a whole 2 billion shillings used to end up in people's pockets. That is what, thank you very much, ladies. You are great people. Thank you very much. And this is the story across government in many departments. And we are going to be recognizing the people like KWS who have seen their revenues enhanced, grow because they have embraced eCitizen. There are government agencies that are still dodgy, and I want to put them on notice. The National Cancer Institute of Kenya, Kenya Hospital Authority Trust Fund, Kenya Nutritionist and Dietitians Institute, Health Records and Information Managers Board, National Syndemic Disease Control Council, Occupational Therapy Council of Kenya, Digital Health Authority. You are a new entity, but you must comply. Kenya Biovax Institute Limited. I know the CEO. Please tell him I am putting him on notice. Kenya National Public Health Institute, Kenya Health Human Resource Authority, Kenya Water Institute, Tanathi Waterworks Development Agency, Water Sector Trust Fund, Kenya Engineering Technology Registration Board, Kenya Ports Authority, Independent Police Oversight Authority, Private Security Regulatory Authority, Nairobi International Financial Center, Kenya Reinsurance Corporation, Financial Reporting Center, Kenya Institute of Supplies Management, Consolidated Bank of Kenya, Development Bank of Kenya, Kenya Accountants and Secretaries National Examination Board, Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Kenya, Institute of Certified Secretaries, Energy and Petroleum Regulation Authority, Kenya Power Company Limited, Rural Electrification and Renewable Energy, Geothermal Development Company, GDC, Kenya Petroleum Refineries Limited, National Defense University, the Kenya Space Agency, the Kenya Shipyard Limited. These entities have yet to comply with my directive that their services and payments and revenues must be on eCitizen platform so that Treasury can follow on the revenues that are being collected by government. They have 1 week to comply. They have 1 week to comply. Otherwise, they know what to do. They can make use of the door. It's as simple as that. Number two, we still have government agencies that, yes, they have come to the citizen platform, but once in a while they retreat to go and pay or use alternative means of payments, including games with some banks. I want a record in the last 3 months of government agencies that are already on the e-citizen platform but have decided to use alternative means with gray spaces so that we can take action against the people who are undermining transparency in the collection of public resources. Mr. Ochieng, I want that list on my desk in the next 3 days. Yes. We cannot continue to collect public money in gray areas and in dark corners. We said that all the 1,100 plus pay bills that were being used by all manner of entities, money that we were not sure whether it was ending up in public coffers, be closed. I am happy all of them have been closed. But there cannot be another route. We want a place where the public can know this is the portal where their money is coming. We can follow up on revenues for every public entity, and we can know what citizens are paying for gets to the public coffers. I know those people are listening to me, the people who still want to play games, and I want to tell them there will be no escape for anybody to continue practices that undermine transparency in the collection of public funds. I call upon everyone and all Kenyans, as well as our partners and friends, to rally together and build on this success to make Kenya a global leader in digital governance, a hub for innovation, and a beacon of transparency and efficiency. The dream of a digital Kenya is no longer an aspiration. It is a lived reality that we do every day. And therefore, I want to commend the e-citizen team led by Ochieng. Can we have the e-citizen team people stand here? We give them a round of applause. Let us tuwapigie makofi hawa wa Kenya. These are great Kenyans. Congratulations for doing a good job. And you have my support as you make sure that every government service is brought onto the digital platform, and make sure that every cent paid by the government, by the people of Kenya, is not lost in between. It is also the reason why our rollout of our universal health coverage program, we insisted that to get rid of inefficiencies of the past, to get rid of the fraud and leakages of money meant for health in the past, we drive this whole universal health coverage on a digital platform. I am very happy with the progress that has been made in making it easy for claims to be assessed, making it easy for citizens to access services, and making it easy for us to deliver using a digital platform, including from registration all the way to services in hospitals, and all the way to claims that are made. Today, we are paying the claims that were accrued for October, making it possible that we are paying, I think, 1.7 billion today. Reconciliation that would have taken months now is taking weeks because we are operating this on a digital platform. And we are going to get rid, for example, of claims that have been a backlog and a burden to hospitals. After they deliver service, they have to wait many months, sometimes many years. Some of the claims we are paying now, accruing from NHIF, are a decade old. Some of them are 10 years, some of them are 15 years, because the system wasn't together. But those 15-year claims, we are now going to be paying last month, this month. Every month we are going to be paying for in the following month to make it efficient, to make it transparent, and to enhance service delivery so that hospitals that deliver service get their money, refunds, so that they can continue to deliver service. It is also the same reason why we are working now on making sure that our revenue collection is also brought into a very open digital space. I am working with the Kenya Revenue Authority together with partners to make sure that, again, our revenues collected by the Kenya Revenue Authority are not subject to the usual pilferage and losses. And shortly, we will be at the place where e-Citizen is today. When I said it a year ago that we are going to digitize government services from the 394 that were mentioned to then our target was 7,000. We have surpassed 10,000. We are now at 22,515. And it is my commitment that hopefully in the next couple of months, every government service must be on a digital platform so that citizens can enjoy efficiency, citizens can pay for services from the comfort of their homes. We get rid of physical challenges. We get rid of extensive travel. We get rid of long queues. We get rid of follow-ups that citizens have to travel back and forth to get government services that are obvious for every citizen. We are looking into the future, as I said. Moving this to the next level is to make sure that we also have a digital ID. We can pay for government services. I am very happy that from, is it today or tomorrow, we are running the first pilot of paying our cash transfer on e-Citizen. For those of you who follow this, we have close to almost 2 million people who benefit from our cash transfer program. I made 2 commitments on cash transfer. The first commitment I made in the last election was that I want these very vulnerable citizens, the aged, orphans, and people living with disability, to be paid as we pay salaries of public servants. They used to wait for 8 months, 6 months. You know, I'm very happy that now we have implemented, we are paying as we pay salaries. That was my first commitment. My second commitment was that these very deserving beneficiaries had to queue in banks, travel many kilometers to be able to get their stipends paid. I committed then that we will work out a digital platform and pay them through alternative means other than banks. I'm very happy that the first tranche of that money When are we going to pay Motari? From tomorrow? Very good. So from tomorrow, we will begin to pay for those Kenyans on a digital platform. They don't have to queue in banks. They don't have to travel many kilometers. They can get their money from the comfort of their villages. Yeah? So it's another very proud moment for me as we accomplish some of the commitments that we have made and transform our country by making sure that government services, delivery of government services, and for payments that citizens either have to receive from government or to pay to government is seamless, is efficient, and is fraud-free. Imagine a Kenya where no one is left behind, where opportunity knows no barriers, and where technology bridges the gap to prosperity for every citizen. This is the Kenya we are building. And together, I mean together, we will make it happen. So I want to ask you and ask every citizen of our great nation to be a partner, to walk with us in this journey, to look at the opportunities that are there, to play their role in making sure that we accomplish the mission that we have set for ourselves of making this country great. Again, let me ask ministries, departments, agencies. There are no two ways about it. We cannot have two rules. All of us must be transparent. Integrity of public services and public resources is foremost. That is a demand by the people of Kenya. It is not a request, and that is a right that the people of Kenya deserve. And it is our duty and responsibility to deliver on it. And I promise you, I am committed to it, and you are either coming along with me in making sure that we deliver on this commitment. I don't want to say what will happen if you don't. So thank you very much. This is a very proud moment for me that we are on course on making sure that Kenya moves to the next level. As I said, we are going to confound our critics. I'm sure they will have nowhere to hide as we go forward. And they will know that we meant every commitment that we made. And we intend. I personally will lead in making sure that we deliver on every commitment we made to the people of Kenya, because it is the least that we can do in making our contribution as leaders of the moment in taking our country to the next level. It is a commitment we made, and it is a right that the people of Kenya deserve, and it is a contribution that those of us who have the privilege to be leaders, it is ours to deliver on that commitment. So, asanteni sana, I wish you well. I know there is a lot of work to be done in many other fields, and I look forward to working with all of you. Asanteni sana, God bless you.
Thank you. Another round of applause for His Excellency. And Your Excellency, we now progress to the award ceremony. May we take our seats kindly? Let's take our seats. We'll progress to the award ceremony. So with your permission, humbly, Your Excellency, I'll request that you come back on stage. And the first award is in the category, well, we have corporate awards and individuals. And the first category is all-time highest transaction. And this one is taken by NTSA. Tuwapigie makofi tafadhali. All-time highest transaction. One more round of applause for them. One more round of applause for them. 21,803,623 services. Sorry, mwalimu hesabu, mwalimu wa math. The runners-up is Directorate of Immigration Services, So if I may invite the PCS, the PS Julius Bitok, and DG Evelyn to also come. Now, the Directorate of Immigration Services is critical in facilitating international travel to and from Kenya. It issues passports to Kenyan citizens, enabling them to pursue their needs, aspirations, and desires beyond borders. It safeguards our national security interests by regulating the exit and entry points and ensuring only deserving foreigners obtain work permits and other documents permitting stay in Kenya. With 7,351,982 transactions on e-citizen, this DIS has indeed flown the globe of digital services. One more round of applause for them, please. The third award goes to Most Improved Revenue Collection, and the winner is Kenya Wildlife Services. Let us have CS Rebecca Miano, PS Sylvia Museya, and DG Erastus Kanga to come and receive on behalf of KWS. Now, the institution has fully digitized its services and reaped impressive benefits from its endeavors. Its total revenue has grown by nearly 50% to 7.6 billion in the financial year 2023-2024 compared to the previous year. I'll repeat that, 50% to 7.6 billion in the financial year 2023 to 2024 compared to its previous year. Visitors to its sites also grew by around 1 million to close to 3.1 by the same period. Digitization has been a boom. Visitors, both local and foreign, can conveniently pay for entry fees in advance and from the comfort of their homes or their phones. While visitors had to physically visit KWS offices for information on available tourist spots before, today they can do so online, giving them a wider choice of options. With more revenue generated, KWS has now more resources to dedicate to the conservation and better protection and management of our natural heritage. One more round of applause for them, please. We'll now go to the individual categories, and Your Excellency, we have a category, Senior Citizens. Oldest e-citizen active user. Esther Gathoni Mwangi is 84 years old. Esther has been a consistent user of eCitizen. Only recently, she renewed her passport through the platform. She has embraced eCitizen as a convenient and reliable avenue for processing her logbook and submitting her vehicles for inspection. Hey, she is grateful that she no longer incurs the time and money traveling to Nairobi for these services and many more. One more round of applause for Madam Esther Gathoni Mwangi, 84 years. The next award goes to Samuel Kibunja Wainaina, who is the oldest male citizen at 80 years old. He resides in Kikuyu, Kiambu County. Mzee Wainaina registered for eCitizen a few days after the relaunch of the portal in June 2023. With the help of his daughter, Josephine, he has exploited the convenience of eCitizens to ensure that he is updated with its contributions for National Health Insurance Fund. To family and friends, he has been a staunch advocate of eCitizen as a user-friendly, money and e-time saving platform. Why don't we put our hands again together for Samuel Kibunja Wainaina, who is 80 years old. Your Excellency, the next award is going to people that you met the first time when this was being launched here. Nicholas Ngunjiri Mwangi and Judith Jelagat Kemboi were privileged to be the first couple to process and obtain their marriage certificate on the relaunch of the eCitizen platform. His Excellency the President, His Excellency the President and the entire government witnessed the colorful event at KICC grounds right here at Savo Ballroom. And I may request that we just play that video for those of us that thought ilikuwa ni kipindi.
By the public taking of these vows and the powers given to me under the Marriage Act, I now pronounce you Nicholas and Judith as husband.
Your Excellency, you remember this event?
Congratulations. One thing that stood out for me, it was meeting the president. It was something I'd never imagined I would be able to get that opportunity.
Kitu ilinibamba hiyo siku ni kukutana na president na kukutana na our prominent leaders. Kitu kenye sikuwa itarajia.
But this thing is real. This is that. And
what they received today, we can pause the video. And what they received today, Your Excellency, is the handing over of the new look birth certificate that features a unique person identifier, UPI, also known as Maisha number, which will be lifetime identity number for Nicole. Nicole is the young one, and all other newborns who will receive their own UPI. Their marriage symbolizes the reality of e-citizens, its convenience, and that it truly works. Why don't we put another good clap for Nicholas Ngojiri Mwangi and Judith Chelagat Kemboi. Thank you, Your Excellency. Next, Your Excellency would like to issue catalogs to the CSAs that are present, so I'll request that they all may come. This catalog is a documented inventory of all ministries, counties, departments, and agencies, MCDAs, with their corresponding services, which have been digitized and are now available on the eCitizen platform. The catalog provides every cabinet secretary with a detailed list of all the digitized services in his or her docket and a quick reference to all other digitized MCDA services. So each will receive a catalog. This is a symbolic manual catalog, but there is a digital catalog that is available online. So if we can have each cabinet secretary kindly hold the catalog as we have an photo op. I'll also request that we have all the PSs present to kindly come on stage so that the next photo will be with the PSs present, the PSs who are in the house. If we may all just progress to come on stage. For a photo opportunity. Those who are taller, if we can kindly just step back a bit so that we cannot do it. Then you just stand in between. So if the PSs can, so that we're not too wide, PSs can step back and take in between the CSs, so that we have a photo that will fit. PSs, if we can step back, yes, that's it. In between, just find somewhere in between where you can be viewed. And the last photo that we're going to have, if I can have SA, Mr. James Kianda, DG eCitizen, Mr. Ochieng, DG Immigration, Madam Evelyn Chelagut, Secretary will have the CSs and PSs kindly to retreat. Secretary NRB, Secretary CRS, Commissioner Refugee Services, Mr. John Burugu, Coordinator IPRS, and Secretary NCM, Dr. Dan Opon. That's Mr. James Kianda. And together with them, may I also invite the two governors present, Governor Johnson Sakaja and Her Excellency Kawira Mwangaza to also join in this photo. Thank you. I'll request that we retreat. Your Excellency, there is a gift for you. So if I may have the Prime Cabinet Secretary remain on stage together with the PS to present the gift to you before we finish with the anthem. And I'm sure we can all see the picture. If you can zoom in, it is His Excellency in his, not sure if it's Masai or Turkana attire.
It's done internally by Clinton Kitibai. Thank you very much, Excellency.
Your Excellency, we'll finish with the national anthem, so I request that we all be upstanding as we now finish with the national anthem. I request we all maintain our positions as we allow His Excellency to exit. Thank you.
The official launch of the first anniversary of the relaunched e-citizen services, thereby being officially presided over by the President, who's just now leaving the podium. Just to recap some of the highlights that marked today's event, we know that over 20 government agencies have been put on notice in regards to failure to enhance their services and payments on the e-citizen platform. We're talking about agencies such as the Kenya Ports Authority, IPOA, Kenya Power, EPRA, the NEC Board, National Defense College Board. Just to mention but a few, the President there reiterating the need for transparency and reminding the state officers that, government service delivery is not a matter of choice, but it is a demand by Kenyans, and that is also according to the Kenya Kwanza manifesto, and that the government will not take it lightly and will do what it takes to ensure that state agencies enable easier service delivery through the e-citizen platform. Also, the highlights of the day, we saw various state departments being awarded for complying, the likes of NTSA being named the most successful state department when it comes to transactions, and also there were individuals there being awarded as well, including 84-year-old Esther Gadoni Mwangi, who was awarded the winner in terms of using and utilizing the e-citizen service. So that's been your live coverage as far as marking the first anniversary of the newly relaunched e-citizen services is concerned. My name is Seth Olale from KICC, and I now hand you over back to our normal programming.